Welcome to Grayson's Holistic Anatomy with me, Dr. Grayson Dart. Thank you for joining me again. Today I'm going to discuss a very important topic when it comes to your own healing and recovery, and that is the topic of peace and safety. Now, we discussed earlier that when you are in a state of fear or worry, it is very difficult for your body and your mind and your spirit to heal. And so the question is, how do we promote a sense of safety and well-being within ourselves? I really like this quote from Dr. Kelly Brogan. She says that the best way to promote resiliency is to bring back a signal of safety to the mind and body. And I could replace the word resiliency with healing. And so how do we go about doing this? Well, there's several different ways, but I'll share with you a very simple technique and give you some more insight too. Abraham Maslow has shared with us his hierarchy of needs. We've probably all seen this in school, but near the bottom is the need of safety. If you're in a state of fear or you believe that your safety is threatened, it's very difficult for you to really focus on anything else. And so when we're viewing peace and safety, we really need to view it in the light of three different things: the body, mind, and spirit. So when it comes to the body, there's some simple things you could look at. One, it could be that you're dehydrated. Dehydration leads to an elevated heart rate, sympathetic overload, and just an overall feeling of malaise. The next is, could you be abusing stimulants? I remember a consultation with a young woman who, after about 30 minutes, we discovered that she had a very rough job. She was constantly sweating, heart was racing, she had difficulty sleeping, and we discovered that she was drinking more than 3 cups of coffee a day. And after decreasing that amount of caffeine, her symptoms started to abate. And then the third is gluten. There seems to be a commonality with some folks, not all, that gluten may be an issue. So a 30-day gluten fast may be in the cards for you. Now, when it comes to the mind, are you ruminating on the past? Are you anticipating the future or worried about the future, trying to control things in your life? And then when it comes to the spirit, are you longing for a sense of connection to divinity? Do you miss a spiritual practice, or do you have a spiritual practice? Is there some sort of trauma and abuse in your life? A good book to look into if that's the case, if you have had some physical, sexual, or emotional abuse in the past, is Trauma and Recovery. Now, the technique and tip I want to give you today as you think about the body, mind, and spirit is something known as the 4-7-8 breath. It's a very simple breath technique that I'll share with you in a moment, but the most important part of this is to follow the breath up with a contemplative practice. Really look at your life and try to discover what could be going on in the body. Those 3 things I mentioned are just a few of the things. There could be more. There could be other toxicities. Think about your mind. Are you constantly having automatic negative thoughts? And do you need to work on those? Is there some sort of an abuse in your past? Or is there a longing for a spiritual practice that you don't have? The contemplation aspect is the most important, but the breath really helps to calm the body so that you feel safe enough to do this contemplative practice. And so I'll go through it with you now. You simply breathe in for the count of 4, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. And you can repeat that 3 to 4 times, and that helps to calm you down to do that contemplative practice. And so I encourage you to try this out this week, and it could be a nice, useful healing tool. And I'll end with a very beautiful quote from the ancient philosopher Rumi, in which he said, "The wound is where the light enters you. So don't be afraid to turn towards your pain and realize that your pain could be a great teacher and might be the key to your healing." I look forward to visiting with you again in the future.